COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
Yeah, we all want our life back. How you doing, everybody? Good evening to you. Beautiful, beautiful day. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, there it is. Nice looking day out there. Blue sky. All right, here we go. Oh, geez. How you doing, everybody? Good to see you from my secret lair. Right now, we are back live with coping with COVID isolation. This is episode 12. We're going to be here every day, or at least I'm going to try and be here every day. I'm going to try and be here every day until we are set free from this disaster. By the way, averted. I got some water and accidentally spilled some on my keypad, on my keyboard for my laptop, but quickly sopped it up. So I hope it's okay. Oh, look at this. Looking forward to seeing Winston. Everybody is excited to see Winston this morning. I'm excited to see Winston. I said this morning. I keep saying this morning. Let's say hello to our good friend Winston, who's joining us right now. Hey, Wince, how you doing, bud? Oh, hold on. There we go. You were muted there. All right, I've got you back up. I'm a lousy tech guy. I'm sorry. I'm just a lousy tech guy.
You're a one-man show. Hey, Kev, it's been a while. How long has it been?
We talk with each other quite often, but we haven't really been on air together for a while.
Yeah, and we haven't seen each other for a minute. It's been a while.
I know. And you were complaining that you have isolation hair. So that's why you're wearing the cap today.
I know. Okay, so a lot of people are approaching this point in isolation or quarantine, and they're trying to figure out what to do with their hair. And I think as men, because our hair is much shorter, we're trying to figure out what do we do? So I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe I'll shave it all off.
Can we see it?
Oh, you want it? Oh, it doesn't look very good. Let me take this off for a second. Like it's a bit of a mess.
It's short. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It is short.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know me. I usually have my hair in a very specific way.
Or a mohawk. You usually have a mohawk. I don't think it starts that way. It's
usually kind of side-swept a little bit. But anyways,
how are you coping with isolation?
Well, I mean, as you know, I do a lot of traveling, and I'm usually not home more often than I am home. So this has been a bit of an adjustment. This has been different. And, being at home more, you're definitely more aware of the everyday news, the feeds, everything that's going on. And it's hard. I mean, just like you, it's hard not to get caught up in the everyday and the, constant updates from everybody. So in terms of isolation and quarantine, not seeing people face to face all the time is a little bit difficult. Luckily with technology and social media, you're a lot of Zoom calls. My calendar has been kind of filled with Zoom calls now. So it's such an interesting time to be living through an experience, or rather a pandemic like this, where, luckily we do have social media. We do have the technology to stay in touch with one another, because I can't even imagine what this would be like if we didn't have the ability to talk to each other, or at least see each other's faces.
And I'm going to explain right now, and again, it's because I'm like a one-man show here. Winston is not in Edmonton. That was left over from when we talked to Harvey yesterday from Edmonton. So I took that graphic off. It was everyone's saying, "Hey, my daughter lives in Spruce Grove, Alberta," says Dorothy.
Okay.
So
I love Edmonton. Not there right now.
Yeah, well, good thing you're not there. It's snowing. He said they got anywhere between 10 to 20 centimeters of snow yesterday.
But you know what? Is it okay? I feel like I'd rather be in Edmonton than in Toronto right now, because the weather is so nice outside that all I want to do is get outside.
Well, you can go outside. This is okay. You just have to practice the safe social distancing. And I'm encouraging people to get outside. You need that fresh air. You need that vitamin D, especially on a day like today. You need it. You just can't go to a park and sit down on a bench beside someone. And I've watched a lot of people. A lot of people have been complaining about people who are out and about, but I've noticed a lot of people doing the right thing, like avoiding each other. When they're walking by the sidewalk, they give each other at least 6 feet. So it says that okay, no audio. Oh, something's going wrong with our broadcast today. It keeps freezing. Is that? Oh, it's better now. Donna says it's better. Okay, you know what? I think just let me know if if it's really bad, folks. We're here to talk about tech and how it's going to save us from cabin fever, and of course we are using something that a lot of people are using, and that is Skype. A lot of grandparents staying in touch with their grandkids. But we're going to talk about the different social platforms. But I want to talk about the news and how we are just inundated with all this bad news, Winston.
Yeah, I mean, the news is something that's really important. It's despite all of this isolation and quarantine for a lot of people, I think the one thing that continues is the news. And I often watch the CBC. You'll read news on the internet as well. And, from breaking news updates on your phone to, the constant, the prime minister does his address every day around 11 o'clock. And then Doug Ford does his, the premier of Ontario. And then the mayor does it. And then you hear, Dr. Eileen DeVilla. So you hear so many people talking about it all the time that it gets overwhelming. And, I don't say this because you shouldn't read the news, because you should read the news and you should be aware. But sometimes you just want to turn it off. Yeah. And I think, this is the one thing that sometimes it's good just to have a little bit of a break. Just like while you're working, it's important to have a break, and it's important to have a break from the news.
And I'm going to repeat what I've been saying almost every day now. Don't watch the news except for maybe once a day. I suggest the morning, so you're not stressed out about it before you go to bed. Get an update and then turn it off. Okay, not a lot is going to change. There's just bad news right now until we start seeing that curve. As soon as we start to get over that curve, that's when the news will start to get better. But right now, it's going to be bad news every day. And yes, I don't want to shield you from the truth, but you don't need to hear it all day long. And you're telling me about now. There's one thing you can do. You can actually filter certain words on your social media, but you can also filter it if you're surfing the net.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. When we came up with this idea to do this mini talk here, the idea was to kind of help people cope using tech tools. And the one tech tool that I thought was really interesting is an ability to turn off news. And it's not turning off all the news. It's turning off news when you want to. And Google News is, of course, a tool that a lot of people use. It's an aggregator, as Google does. And so what Google will do is if you type in COVID-19 or coronavirus, it'll pull up all the latest news that you need to know. But sometimes you just don't want to see it. So there's a Google Chrome extension, and a lot of people don't know what an extension is. It's an add-on. So your Google Chrome, which is your web browser where you can search the web and do whatever you want to do, you can add extensions, and these are almost like little pieces of software that enhance your web browser, and they're customized. And there's a plugin, an extension as they call it, called Exclude Topics from Google News. And it was created by someone, and it's not super well known, so it's a bit of a rare find. But once you install it onto your Google Chrome, what you can do is start to add tags and add words that you want to actually filter out of your news feed. So if you just want to get your daily news and not have to read about COVID-19 or coronavirus for just 10 minutes, put in those keywords, activate the extension, and what it'll do is it'll take all of those stories out and just give you what's left from there. So, I think just like you can do it with social media and avoiding spoilers, it's kind of a very similar thing. You can use this tool for the very same function if you want to take out spoilers of Tiger King, for example. Kevin, have you been watching Tiger King?
No, I've been hearing about it. I don't know.
I'm sure a lot of people in the comments will know what I'm talking about.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. It's huge. Yeah, I just want to quickly interrupt. Yeah. There's something wrong with your Wi-Fi and your end, or at least coming in from you. So I'm going to stay on the split screen here, because when I'm doing that, everything seems to work fine. I don't know why it works fine on the split screen, but everyone's telling me that. Okay, I want to get to now, I want to get to Zoom. I'm hearing nothing but Zoom. Hey, do you want to Zoom tonight? Do you want to, and Zoomers. So Zoom, of course, the funny thing was, it was primarily meant for business, wasn't it?
It still is. So Zoom is such an interesting one because I've been watching it kind of pick up in popularity a lot, especially, during this pandemic. Zoom had a really big, a lot of businesses really started to use Zoom when it first picked up in popularity last year. And essentially, it is a tool that operates very similarly to Skype or FaceTime, all of these different video chatting tools where you can chat with multiple people in like a video conferencing style. So at its core, Zoom is a video conferencing tool where you can add, depending on your account, you can have 10 people, 100 people, 300 people. Some people have had Zoom parties. And it's account, which is what most people have. You're tied to a 40-minute a time constraint, and it'll end your call at 40 minutes. So that's kind of the one thing to know with Zoom is if you want to use it and you don't want to pay for it, you can use it with one person. So if it's kind of just you and I chatting, we can chat as long as we want. But the second you add a third person into the call, third person or more, that's when it'll tie you to that 40-minute timer. And then once that 40 minutes is up, it'll hang up. You can pay for a plan that's around $25 a month, and it'll allow you to do all sorts of things like video chat. You can add on webinars where you can hold parties. So it's been fascinating to see how people have really used Zoom in various social settings. I went to a bingo the other night where there were I think there were like 400 people or something on it, and you played bingo, and it was hosted, and you had your camera on, and you can chat with the host. There was another different DJs have been using it to raise money for their bars that have closed down for their bartenders, where you can chat and you can kind of switch between cameras. So people have turned this video conferencing tool into almost a broadcasting tool where you can switch cameras and really interact with people.
Okay, so what is Zoom? I'm getting that quite a bit. Answer this question. What is Zoom, and are there extra privacy concerns, Meredith is asking, about Zoom that you've heard of?
So from a privacy standpoint, it's something, it's definitely something that is encrypted, and it is something that you can trust. Zoom is being used by all sorts of institutions, from universities to colleges to continue. We know so many students are not going to school right now or having to switch to virtual options. A lot of universities have opted to use Zoom as part of digital learning right now. So from a privacy standpoint, I wouldn't stress too much about it. There's been an interesting trend called Zoom bombing, though, that you need to be aware of. And in terms of your privacy settings, you can set a participant key and a host key. Make sure you set those to the highest privacy setting possible, and only the right people get the keys, which is just a passcode to get in, because Zoom bombing is when people will kind of try different codes to get into your meeting. Exactly, and they'll jump into your room and say something that they shouldn't say. So that's kind of the only privacy thing you should know about.
Sometimes things can go wrong all on their own. Have you seen the video of that Zoom meeting that's gone viral? This was it. Now, a lot of people are using these for meetings, and so you can have a number of participants. You can have 9, you can have 100 people. So this is what happened at one of these meetings. Here we go. Take a look at the screen, the participant on the left. She thought she had muted her video. She had not. And she went to the bathroom. And everybody starts noticing in the meeting. Look at all the other faces.
I have seen this one.
And then she realizes, turns it off.
What happened?
Yeah. So again, you gotta be careful. You gotta be
Hmm.
careful. It,
Well, it's a new world we're in, right? For a lot of people, working from home is new for them, and the bosses have told them you got to download this app, Zoom, use Zoom, use Zoom. But what is the etiquette? A lot of people don't know. So, I mean, if you're going to take your laptop into the bathroom with you, you should probably turn your microphone and turn your camera off, or better yet, just don't do it at all. Or learn the hard way and become a bit of a meme
do you want
on Instagram.
do you want to see a couple of other fails? This one is
Sure.
this is a still picture. This was tweeted out by someone after a meeting. If you take a look in the top right here, the boss apparently had turned on this potato filter that comes with this and could not turn it off, so had to spend the entire meeting as speaking as a potato. So you have to before you use these, you better understand how they work.
Absolutely. The other thing with Zoom that's interesting too is virtual backgrounds. That is one thing that makes Zoom different from a lot of the other apps. And virtual backgrounds enable you to kind of put yourself in a different place. And people have gotten really creative where offices have done meetings where they've had a beach theme and everybody put a it's like a pseudo green screen where they've superimposed the beach behind them and they've gotten their beach gear out just to have a sense of camaraderie. And, in this time, we need a little bit of that. So, Zoom is an interesting option, but there are many other alternatives that don't cut you off or hang up on you after 40 minutes.
Yeah, I want to show you one more, and then we're going to talk about some of the
Okay.
other platforms. Okay, this was a priest. A lot of churches, in fact, almost every church is live streaming their services, their Sunday services, because obviously people can't go, they can't have crowds. This was in Salerno, Italy, this week. You will notice the priest adjusting the camera for the live stream and accidentally turns on the filters. And you see them activate, but he doesn't know it. So here is how his mass went. Right, so here he is. He's adjusting there, and you'll see the filters turn on, actually. You'll see the little, hold on. There, all of a sudden, there. So now filters are on. He doesn't realize this, okay? So he steps back, and he's wearing an alien helmet. He's working with weights. Then I don't know what the other filters were. I think that's one service I would pay attention to completely. Oh, there we go. Lost that video. I would pay attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many viral moments that are coming out of the internet with people using Zoom for the first time, understandably so, especially if you've never never used filters before and don't know how to turn them off.
Okay, let's talk about what we're on right now. In fact, let's talk about Skype. Now, I am the software that I use is kind of proprietary to Skype, so I need to use it. I do not find it one of the more dependable platforms. How come?
Well, Skype is the incumbent in terms of video chatting, I would say. There are other ones out there, and we can go all the way back to like AOL Messenger when you can chat with people via video. Skype is a big one. And what's great about Skype is it's free, it's global, everybody knows what it is. Skype picked up in popularity in the 2000s, and then Microsoft bought them. So because Microsoft owns them, it's kind of pre-installed on a lot of computers. So it's an easy way to kind of talk to people without having to coach people through how to get an account,
but
how
that's
to sign up for this.
I find it breaks up all the time. I mean, that is what's happening with your camera today. Is I'm finding it Skype is not as dependable as the other ones that we're going to be talking about.
Right. And I know certain people will say the same thing about Zoom and with FaceTime and with I find FaceTime works really well for me. But Skype, depending on server demand, so depending on where the closest server is, your internet connection, I'm sitting right next to my router, so my internet should be really strong, but I am also running your feed on my computer next to me.
And
so,
it's a busy time of night. Everybody's on the web right now.
Yeah, and depending on whether other people are surfing as well, that all has a factor in how good your internet signal is. But Skype is one that a lot of people use, and some people love it, some people hate it. Skype lets you chat with up to 50 people, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
fewer. Yeah, fewer people than Zoom if you pay for Zoom. But also, are you chatting with more than 50 people?
Yeah.
So as long as you can get people to sign up for the account, it's a great option. You don't have the virtual backgrounds in the same way that Zoom does. And it hasn't gone as viral as Zoom because I think it's just been around forever. But it is an option as well.
Shirley is saying, can we do the same as far as talking to a group on Facebook as opposed to Zoom? Is there a difference?
Talking to a group on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Can you have more than one person talking on Facebook?
Yeah. Okay. So Zoom lets you stream live to a Facebook page
Oh, okay.
through a webinar. Skype is intended as like a chatting function, the way that we're chatting right now. And using third-party software, that's when you can go in and you can add your own graphics, you can add your own videos and pictures and text and stream to a page. So to Shirley's question, no, you have to download, no, but you have to download a third-party piece of software to
Okay.
be able to broadcast to a Facebook page.
All right. So let's move from Skype now and talk about FaceTime, which is proprietary to Apple and to iPhones.
Yeah, so FaceTime is Apple's video chatting service. You can do two things. You can FaceTime audio or you can FaceTime video. FaceTime audio is similar to a data phone call, so it's similar to a Skype call without video. And then FaceTime video, self-explanatory, has video on it. You can use up to 32 people on FaceTime. It's designed as a mobile first kind of a stream. So you can chat with your 32 people, and they have different boxes that move around depending on who's the primary speaker at the moment. You can use memojis, which are kind of the emojis that are personalized to you and kind of interact in a really fun way as well. The big thing for FaceTime for me is it's designed for phones. So if you have grandma set up on an iPhone and you iMessage them already, it's just as easy to FaceTime them without much work or having to instruct them through downloading an app, creating an account, and how to use it. So it's relatively intuitive. It works across iPhones, iPads, and your Mac as well. So as long as you're 32 people, which is a lower limit than Skype, for example, you can use FaceTime as long as everybody is on an iPhone or a Mac or an iPad.
Yeah, Diana says that she loves FaceTime, keeps me connected with the grandkids. Let's hope she doesn't have 33 grandkids. So
That's it, right? I mean, for most people,
32
you
is fine.
probably aren't chatting with more than
Yeah.
10 people. So, all of these options are great. Shirley mentioned Facebook. Facebook owns WhatsApp. You can also video chat on WhatsApp as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Google's other offering, Hangouts.
Yeah, when we talk about FaceTime, kind of an Apple-specific ecosystem, Google has their own as well, designed primarily for Google Android, Gmail users as well, within the Google Chrome browser. So Google Hangouts, Google Meet, people who have Google accounts already set up, this is easy enough for you to kind of go on as long as you have their Gmail accounts ready to go. You can do your call. I think it's also 30 to 50 people as well. So you're in the same realm as Skype, browser-based, or you can use it on your Android phone. If you have an iOS device, you can also download the Google Hangouts app on your iPhone. So a bit less restricted to a certain ecosystem. It's designed for Google, but works with other devices as well. And if you're on a laptop or a computer and have a webcam and a microphone, you're good to go there as well. Works really well. And Google servers, of course, are very strong and reliable there as well.
I've never heard this one until today. Microsoft Team. What is Microsoft Team?
So we talked about Skype already, and Skype is owned by Microsoft. So Microsoft Teams is a system that is also owned by Microsoft, and it's more centered around businesses. So if you're a small business and because of COVID-19, you've had to kind of shut your business down and people are working remotely from home. If you do want to collaborate in a way, but even just want to use it for personal use, if you want to use it for personal use, your best bet is to go to Skype. But Microsoft Teams is good because you have more options to integrate with people no matter where you are. And you can use whiteboard functions. It integrates with a lot of business apps. And it works across all of the devices as well. No limit on how many people can use Microsoft Teams. And it's also free right now. So Microsoft Teams is quite popular for people who kind of want to power their small businesses in this time.
Okay. Any tech questions from people out there? People having trouble using any of these platforms? Maybe they want to pipe in with something else. The WhatsApp. Someone had talked about that a little bit earlier. But how is tech going for you using this at home? And a lot of times too, you don't have the luxury of having as good an internet as some companies have in the business type internet, as we're finding out, trying to use our own home internet right now. What else is as far well? Okay, I wanted to ask about Zoom a little bit more, only because it's becoming huge. What is it that is the real selling point here? Is it just getting good press, or why is it becoming the choice of especially of millennials?
So I would say the press, the viralness of it definitely are the two big drivers right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over social media, and just like Tiger King, it is the thing that everybody is kind of all about right now. So there's that element. Having used it quite a bit already, I would also argue that Zoom's reliability is good. So even if your internet connection isn't great, and it'll actually tell you if your internet's not great, there's little signal bars on the corner. It's a good indicator that maybe you need to position yourself in a better spot, closer to your router, for example, so you get better Wi-Fi signal. It works across all of the devices. It works with your computer. The one kind of con is you do have to install a small piece of software, be it an app on your phone or a piece of software on your computer to make it work so it's not browser-based. But for some reason, Zoom has figured out how to really stream it better than a lot of the other services, and the quality is a lot better. And we've seen a lot of Kev, you and I worked in a news environment where Skype was the big one, and I've seen a lot more news outlets start to rely on Zoom.
Yeah, well,
to chat with their interviews.
I would drop Skype in a second. I'm having a lot of problems with it doing this show, but like I say, the software that I'm using. It's called Ecamm, but I don't know if it's a Microsoft product or what, but it is it incorporates Skype in there. Rick says we're doing a family picnic Friday night through Zoom. So Rick, I want pictures and video. Okay, I want to see how you do this. Please text, send them on Twitter, email them to me. I'll give you my email address at the end of the show. I want to know how you did that. I want to see how you did that. I want to show viewers on Saturday. There's been a lot of people getting together using Zoom.
It's great. I mean, I think I'm really impressed by the creativity people have with Zoom. I've seen a couple people on Instagram have arranged formal nights where you and your extended family members get dressed up on a Saturday night, and you just have a nice sit down dinner, set up your laptop at the end of your table. Everyone sits around, and you can really catch up and chat with them in a way that mimics what it would be like in person, but adds a little bit of a fun flair to it. And desperate times call for desperate measures, and luckily Skype or rather Zoom is offering an ability to do that through your backgrounds and through being able to switch cameras. So I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing how charities are taking advantage of the tool as well. And then for education, it's become a big driver of how students are staying connected in this time. I mean, when was the last time students were off school for this long? They'll probably roll into summer vacation at this point. So it's definitely an interesting one, and Zoom's given people an outlet to learn and to play and to connect.
My good buddy Dave Ward's watching. Hey, Kevin, I've been doing concerts on Zoom for my college students. Yeah,
That's great.
Now I remember Dave, best air guitar player in the biz. Let me just tell you that. Before I let you go, I'm going to ask you to put your other hat on about travel, because you have a travel website, and I know a lot of people have questions. I know that we have summer vacation now that plans. We don't know what's going to be happening. So what is the buzz in the travel industry right now? Can we plan our summer vacations? Can we plan Christmas vacations?
So a lot of people have, spring, definitely, as if you haven't canceled it, you probably should. And most airlines, hotels, car rentals, vacation properties have some sort of a cancellation policy, because the travel really has been affected. And so, I mean, it's sad. It's a sad time for the travel industry, and it's a lot of kind of wait and see right now. And the longer that this goes, the more dire it is for things like flight routes.
I'm sorry, we'll get back to it. And I better switch to Zoom. Everyone's saying, because we keep freezing up. And again, I don't know why it's particular tonight. But we keep freezing up. So I just want to apologize to people. Hang in there. All right. I interrupted you, Winston. My deepest apologies. I just wanted to get that out there. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. So in terms of travel, the one thing that I'll say is planning is okay. It's okay to have a wish list of places to go. The kind of one thing for consumers is, once this is all over, and as soon as you're comfortable to start traveling again, you're going to find some really great deals for flights and to be able to go away. So if you've been saving up for, a family vacation, once it dies down and it's safe again to travel, you'll probably be able to go to somewhere really nice. Would I book it now? Absolutely not, unless you have the protection to cancel when you need to cancel, or to make the changes when you need to change. And Air Canada, for example, WestJet, they all do have policies in place where if you do book and you need to make a change, they're often offering like a one-time change waiver, so you don't change fee waiver, so you don't have to pay that change fee. So just make sure that you read the fine print and you check. But right now, I would say err on the side of caution. Keep an eye on it. Google Flights, Google Trips allows you to put in a place that you want to go to and set an alert, and you can kind of keep an eye on what the prices kind of start to look like. And then once you feel more comfortable and we have a better idea of what this is going to look like, then you can make that decision. But I would just say hold off for now. Travel is a little bit iffy. It's
you don't know when.
It's difficult for me to say, because I also really want to get going again. But
so
yeah.
would you take a cruise, Winston, when this is all over? I'm putting you on the spot, I know.
I was honestly never a cruise person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't love cruises, but I know a lot of people do. And cruises are fun. We have done cruises, a yearly cruise for the last 2 years. And I know a lot of people kind of make cruising their thing, especially if you are the type to, if you like having options of things to do, if you like having the variety of food, if you kind of just like enjoying the weather, cruising is great. You are in tight quarters, and I think the cruise industry right now, they're hyper aware of, the COVID-19 and the perception once this is all done. So, are they going to heighten safety to an all-time high? Absolutely. Is it going to be safe to go on a cruise? Yeah, I think so. Like, they're definitely going to take extra precaution, extra steps to make sure passengers feel safe, and to screen passengers before they board and embark. It's going to be a really difficult time for cruise industries, and the longer
Yeah.
this goes, the more dire it's going to be for their business.
However, as you said, if you love cruises, there are going to be some incredible deals coming up.
Deal.
Yeah, and they may pay you to go cruising with them. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's going to be a while. Okay, well, Winston, I can't tell you how enjoyable this was. Fantastic. I love talking with you. We'll have you back again soon, if that's all right. I mean, what else you got to do?
Absolutely. Can I say one more thing? We didn't get to one tool that I want to
Oh,
mention
which
really
one's that?
quickly, and Netflix Party.
Oh,
A
Netflix
lot of
party,
people have
yeah.
been trying. A lot of people have been trying to find ways to connect with their loved ones and their family in a fun way. And Netflix Party is another Google Chrome extension that I mentioned, a Google Chrome extension. And if you don't know what that is, rewind to the front of the stream here, and you can learn about what it is. But it's a Google Chrome extension that you install on your browser. And what it allow you to do is watch the same Netflix show or movie
Yeah.
with a bunch of your loved ones or friends, and it'll start the stream at the same time, and it'll give you a little chat box where you can have a conversation and almost have a bit of a director's cut with them as you watch. So it's a way to kind of take social viewing to a whole new level, and when you can't go to the movies with your friends and family, this could be a little bit of an alternative.
So how do you find that? How do you find that? Because that's a great idea.
Yeah, netflixparty.com is their website,
Okay.
and there'll be a link on the homepage on how to install the Chrome extension. And as long as everybody else has that, and there's a bit of a key to link everybody together, you'll be good to go. And of course, someone has to have a Netflix account to make that work.
Okay, where was that? Someone had said it was a beautiful sunset out there. Let me see, let me just. This is what I can see of it. Oh yeah, it is nice out there. It is just beautiful. Look at that sky. That is fantastic. That's what we need. You know what? I think if nothing else, Winston, if we could just get the nicer weather, we could just feel better.
Well, I mean, it's going to be here very soon. We've the one silver lining is I think winter's behind us.
Yes,
So I
unless
think
you're in Edmonton.
eventually we'll be able to, unless you're in, unless you're in Edmonton. Also a beautiful. Oh, look at that view, Kev. That's beautiful.
It is, yeah, it's gorgeous out there.
So I mean, you just have to kind of take it day by day. I think it's easy to not to look too far into the future and into the unknown and kind of let your anxiety build. And at this point, we just have to kind of be there for each other and take it day by day.
Just before you go, someone says, "Can Netflix party be done in same country?" I'm gonna guess. Well, it depends on whether or not. That's an interesting question. So if you have some friends, who are in another country, in the U.S., in Italy, wherever, do you think maybe you could do it through that? I don't know if you even know the answer to that one.
It relies on the Netflix licensing rights. So everyone has to have a Netflix subscription and an account. And the thing is, certain movies, certain shows are only available in certain countries. So as long as everybody has access to the Netflix account that has the show. So something like a Netflix original will be available in all countries. Something like a licensed show, like a Fox or Disney show, those are probably licensed depending on what country. Another streaming service might have it here in Canada. So you just have to check whether Netflix in everyone's every chat participants on their computer,
Yeah.
whether they can stream that show or program.
And Aram, who asked that question, and I hope I said that right, lives in the U.S. and her sister lives here in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she's asking. And we have those conflicts, right? There are some things not available on Canadian Netflix. American Netflix always tends to be a little bit better because of copyright issues and what other streaming services have paid for in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody send some love to Winston before I send him off back to his plans of world domination and whatnot. Thank you so much. Everyone's
one day
loving
at a
you.
time.
Everyone's loving you.
I miss everyone. Kev, it was good seeing you. We do chat and we text here and there, but
Yeah.
it's not the same
It's just
as
not the same.
getting your 4 a.m. calls on my cell phone, getting me up and sending me off to Port Dover.
You know what? Memories, just fantastic memories. Winston, thank you so
Those were
much
the
for
days.
joining us. Have a great day, or have a great evening.
Thanks. Good to see you.
All right, good to see you. Winston Sih talking to us with some great information, and I have to apologize for all the technical problems. I'm also the engineer. So that's what happens. Hey, Parker, it's looking. Can we get one more shot outside, Parker? Parker? He was watching the broadcast, so I asked him a question. He's probably going to respond in 30 seconds. Can we see outside again? It looks like the sun is I can see reflection on the windows, because this makes me feel good. This makes me feel better. In fact, I think I'm going to go out after we're done here. And safe social distancing. I want you to go out. You can't go to the parks, okay? You can't go to the parks. They're closed. You're not supposed to be there. Down the street, things like that. Okay, Parker's opened the window. Let's see what it looks like. Hold on. There we go. All right. Yeah. Yeah. See, doesn't that make you feel good? It does make you feel good. I want to send out some words of caution, okay? I want to, hold on. Yeah. I want to send out some words of caution. There are a number of people still who are not getting the message. They are going out. They're going to parties with friends. They're getting together. They're driving around together in a car, even though they're from different households. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You may feel fine. You may not have been traveling to a foreign country. You may not have been in contact with anyone that you know of who has COVID. The fact of the matter is that most people who carry COVID will never exhibit any signs. They just won't. So you could have it. You could just simply be a carrier. And then what happens is you touch a doorknob somewhere, you touch an elevator button, you touch something in a store, then someone else touches it, they carry it to an old age home. And we had that horrible news today out of Scarborough, right? So that is what can happen. So I know you think it's okay, and I know you think you feel good, and you're with your friends, and we're getting together, and I can't stay by myself. You have to. We are doing this. It is a life and death reason that we are doing this. This isn't just inconvenience that we're trying to inconvenience people. We're doing this to try and save some lives. So you gathering with your friends, gathering with other family members who are not in the same household as you all the time, it's putting people's lives in jeopardy. And it's not, think about those people. Think about the people they might leave behind as well. I know this is a real tough thing to do, and I know cabin fever sets in, and our lives have been turned upside down, but we're doing this for each other. Heck, we're doing it for yourself. Could be someone you love who catches it. So just because you're symptom-free and you don't think you've come into contact with it, you have to use all the precautions. And that means staying at least 6 feet away from people wherever you are. So thank you very, very much. Tomorrow, we are doing some cooking. We are going to make some food on my stove here. We're going to make some smoothies as well. And I'm going to give you the recipes. Joy McCarthy is going to be with us. She is a holistic nutritionist, has a cookbook that we're going to be digging into. Friday, we are going to be talking to a productivity expert about your home office and working from home and some of the rules you have to set, because we may be working from home a little bit longer. So thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you so much to Winston for joining me as well. Let's remind you of the email address, firstaidforyourmentalhealth@gmail.com. If you have any ideas or you want to talk to me, let me know. You can watch any of the old episodes on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Kevin Frankish channel. Thank you very much, and take care of yourself. Do you want to see the priest one more? Which one do you want to see? You want to see the priest one more time? Let's do the priest one more time, shall we? Okay, so this was the priest in Salerno, Italy this week, who was live streaming and accidentally turns on the filters right here but doesn't realize it. So as he goes back to preach his sermon, watch his head. That's a filter. He's not actually. So now he's lifting weights. I love it. All in good fun. Things we need to smile about. All right, once again, Take care of yourself and take care of each other, everyone.
COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack.